So the original Jurassic Park film hit theaters in 1993. I remember I saw that in Athens, Texas while I was visiting my grandmother. Rest in peace with all of my cousins, and my goodness gracious, we had such a great time. But now with this new trilogy, this is the final chapter, the sixth film in this Jurassic Park franchise. And is it worth it? Does it live up to all the hype? Is it everything we all wanted it to be? Or will it conclude in an epic disappointment? Well, let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Jurassic World Dominion movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, so my expectations for this film was very, very high. I don't want to say that they was through the roof, but when I first saw the trailer for this film, I was like, my goodness gracious, this looks fantastic. They're bringing the whole cast back, and I cannot wait to see this film. Now, this film is being directed by Colin Trevorrow. I always have a hard time pronouncing his name, but this is what the gentleman looks like. He's directing this film, and he also did Jurassic World in 2015, this new trilogy, but he did not do Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I will say that the last film that came before this one that I'm reviewing right now is possibly the worst in the franchise. I did not like anything for the most part that they was doing with that movie, especially having to do with the clone girl. If you've seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you look at the rest of his filmography, he does have a number of producer credits right here and 8 directing credits like Jurassic World Dominion, Battle of Big Rock, The Book of Henry, which I have not seen. I've heard some interesting things about that. And like I said, Jurassic World in 2015. And I am a collector over here. And yes, my entire Blu-ray DVD 4K collection video is coming soon. Thank you guys for your patience. But bam! I got it right there, the original Jurassic Park film in 3D Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, and ultraviolet. Man, y'all remember that ultraviolet? Also got Jurassic World right there on Blu-ray, and also Jurassic Park collection. This is the first 4 films: Jurassic Park 93, The Lost World, I think 97, I could be wrong, and Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World. And I will say, guys, I don't understand, just before I get into the review, when it comes to Jurassic Park 3, I don't understand why it gets so much crap. Every time I hear somebody talk about it, they're about to vomit, they get a headache and start shaking or something. I don't get it. I really do enjoy that movie. Sam Neill came back and I love him. I mean, I thought it was a great film. Now, the original 93 film is the best out of all of them. Hands down, I don't think anybody can argue that. But I will say the Jurassic Park 3 is possibly the second or third best, but I'm going to go and say the second. I mean, that's just me. All things are subjective. But I was really looking forward to this film with the entire cast coming back with Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. But of course, we have the main leads, the original OGs of this franchise, Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum. We even have BD Wong coming back in this, and I remember him from the original, and I like him too, along with some new characters like DeWanda Jones, and we'll get to those when I get to the review. But before I get any further with all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this film is all about. 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nublar, dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures in a new era. So one of the first things that I really did like about this film is the beginning. The way it starts, it gives you a brief summary on what has taken place in the past 4 years as a synopsis just read, and how human beings are trying to coexist with these dinosaurs. I think that's a question that everybody has asked since we learned about dinosaurs in grade school, like, hey, can human beings really coexist with dinosaurs, or would they just wipe us out completely? That is something that they did address early on in the film, and I really do appreciate that. The next thing that I really liked about this film is the cast. Like I said in my intro, everybody comes back. Bryce Dallas Howard, Chris Pratt, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. And I like the fact that it's not just nice to see them in the film, but they have a reason for being there. They don't feel like they were just in the film because the director and producer just wanted to check a box. and get people into the theaters. I mean, there's actually a nice narrative as why they're there, and it does fit cohesively with everything else, and I like that a lot. Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm was the absolute best. I mean, my goodness gracious, this dude was intelligent, he was smart, he was smooth, just like he was in the first two films, and he is also funny. The comedic timing that his character had in this film was brilliant, and he was easily one of the highlights of the picture. There's also some new characters by the name of Omar Sy, Mamadou Athie, and DeWanda Wise. I am not too familiar with Mamadou Athie, but Omar Sy and DeWanda Wise I am. DeWanda was in the She's Gotta Have It reboot or original film with Spike Lee. I actually can't remember. I think it was the reboot, so please excuse me. And I have seen Omar Sy in a number of pictures before. I did like Omar Sy and Mamadou Athie. DeWanda, I did not like her character at first. She grew on me. She kind of came through in the third act, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I did like the addition of these new characters. They serve the plot pretty well, and I appreciated that too. And also, the dinosaurs do look cool. I mean, we got all the dinosaurs. We got new dinosaurs that we've seen from the original films and some new ones as well. And the designs are quite crafty. I really do like them. There was one dinosaur, I don't know what you call it, but I swear it looked like some hybrid version between Edward Scissorhands and Freddy Krueger. And it was scary to look at. This dinosaur was going around killing big dinosaurs, and it's just one of those things where you just run the opposite way, don't ask no questions, you just drop and get the hell out of there, and I like that too. But to be honest with you guys, as far as the good in this film, all of that stops about right there, and now we have to talk about the bad. I said that one of the things that I really didn't like about this film was the beginning, on how it gave you a brief summary on how human beings are trying to coexist with dinosaurs. But for some reason, guys, that was just only in the very beginning of the film, maybe like the first 3 minutes. The story, they completely abandoned that plot, and I don't understand why. That is the main thing, I think, in my opinion, and you can let me know in the comment section respectfully if you disagree, that people came to see. The reason why people wanted to come see Jurassic World in 2015, because it was kind of like a remake of the original film, of like, okay, how the 93 Jurassic Park film, that did not have the park. It was not up. Everything fell apart before the park was open. But Jurassic World was like, okay, let's say that there was not any corporate bad guys that was trying to take advantage of everything, and the park actually did open up, and it came to fruition, and people were actually able to visit the park. That's one of the fascinating things that people wanted to go see that film for, and the reason why it was so successful. And with this film right here, Dominion, the third in this new trilogy, people want to come to the theater to see, okay, what would the world actually look like if the park just exploded? Dinosaurs go everywhere, and they're all over the planet, like just domesticated animals into a sense. Like, everybody wants to see that. But the film did not give you that. It completely abandoned it and just started picking up another side plot that was not as interesting, to say the least. And I have to say that's possibly one of the biggest disappointments in the film. Another thing that I did not like in this movie is when it comes to the action, it was kind of dull because it had no stakes. I was just saying to myself, I don't feel that any character in this movie or main character is about to die. And like, that's unfortunate, because the first film, and the first two films, and even Jurassic Park 3, the ones I love, those were kind of horror movies. I mean, there were main characters that died and did not make it, and you cared about them. You cared about the characters in this movie too, but when you saw them, when they're in danger, whether they're running from a dinosaur, running from henchmen, or flying in the air, you just knew to yourself, okay, they're going to escape, they're going to be okay, and everything is going to be all right. And it's just kind of ridiculous. You had two characters that was flying a crashing plane, and it crashed into a sea of frozen water, a sea of ice. And they just got out the plane, no scrapes, no bruises, no blood. They're not limping, they're not hurt. They just dusted off their shoulders and continued on in the mission. And I'm just saying to myself, this is stupid. Like, I mean, come on, like, do not insult my intelligence this way. Also, there's always some evil, demented, corporate, giant conglomerate with associates and executives that are trying to play God. And I'm not saying that I am tired of that, because that is a great reflection of life, but it does come down to the execution. and I was annoyed by it. There was a cartoon villain in this movie, some woman I've never seen before, but she was just trying too hard to come off as sinister and intimidating to where it was laughable to me. I don't understand her character. I don't understand the way she was dressed, given where she was and the type of environment, and it was just silly. And when it comes to the characters in this action, which I said no stakes, I mean, the logic is thrown out the window as well, too. You had a number of gentlemen in one scene with guns, you know, handguns, assault rifles, and all that was about to fight some raptors, but for some reason they decided to drop their guns and run away. I don't know, but to me, it's common sense that you're not going to be able to outrun a raptor, especially when you have all types of terrain around. These animals are just too agile, too strong, and they're going to kill you. You would have had a much better chance if you would have stood your ground and actually fired your weapon, but for some reason, the characters in this movie don't have any common sense, and it led to their death. Also, the last film, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, is arguably one of the worst in the whole franchise. I don't remember that film at all, and I do remember having a bad taste in my mouth with the clone girl. She's back, and this film, in my opinion, focuses too much on this little clone girl. I do not care about this clone girl. I mean, if she wants to be in the movie, that's fine, but she just had too much screen time. There were just so many other aspects of this film that they could have explored, but they was ignored and wanted to focus on this clone girl so much for the plot, and it didn't work for me, and I wanted to see something else. Also, guys, I cannot stand what they did with the character B.D. Wong. I liked him. In the first film, he was Dr. Henry Wu. I think he was in the last one as well. I don't remember, and that's just how bad that film was, but my goodness gracious, dude, cry me a river. He was the saddest character, not only in this movie that I've seen in any movie or TV show ever in the history of time. Always going around holding himself like he's cold, like, oh my God, what have we done? But if I just have one more chance to get the formula and splice the DNA, we can save the world. But what about the children and the women and the babies and the dinosaurs? And oh God. That's how he was acting the whole movie. And I'm just like, why did y'all reduce him to this level of stupidity and annoyance? I just don't get it. This is not appealing. When you saw the test screenings of this, you're just like, oh, audiences are going to like this guy right here. I mean, it was just a sad sight to see, and I just hated what they did with his character. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's over with now, and I can't do nothing about it. But I'm really, really disappointed, and I'm pretty sure he is, too. And it's also annoying, too, just some of the dialogue that was bouncing around between some of the characters didn't come off realistic to me. And you have this base with all this technology, all this gear, all this sophistication, but the security is just awful. It is just so too easy for people to infiltrate a certain base and go after restricted files. Like, I don't get it. Where's the security? Where's the clearance? They tried to give you little previews of it, but it wasn't enough for me. And I was just like, this is dumb. Like, come on. Like, where is the challenge in this story? Where is the challenge in this plot? It is just too easy for characters to go from point A to point B to point C to try to accomplish their goal. And like I said, that adds on to the no stakes in this film that makes it kind of dull. I mean, I wasn't bored in this movie at all. I'm not gonna lie there, but I wasn't that excited either. I mean, it's just a disappointment. The biggest culprit of this film that made it fail is the fact that they did not tackle human beings coexisting with dinosaurs. That would have been great, and I would have loved a third act finale where it's just going down, where you have humans teaming up with dinosaurs versus other evil humans teaming up with dinosaurs in some epic battle royale showdown. But we don't get anything like that. You'll just have to see what you get if you see the film, which I want you to, because you should still go see it for yourself. Don't let anybody else deter you. But I'm pretty confident that you will be disappointed. It really does suck, guys. I wanted so much more for this film. It's not trash. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. And I will give my rating for this at the very end. But guys, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you did like this video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach my next milestone of 40,000 subscribers. And I'm not just going to tell you to subscribe to my channel without giving you a reason why, but here's your reason. You're going to get movie reviews like Doctor Strange, Top Gun Maverick, spoiler movie reviews, a weekly movie news roundup show. I'm also covering my favorite TV shows right now, like Young Justice Season 4, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I did We Own the City, The Time Traveler's Wife, The Staircase. Got some out-of-theater reactions, trailer reactions, and also some interviews right there. So go ahead and check me out. This is what my channel looks like and help me reach my next large milestone. So guys, when it comes to my rating of Jurassic World Dominion, if I had to rate this film out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Yes, a 5 out of 10. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.